This episode of Nerdist News is brought to you by Capital One. Why the web is overreacting to Rick and Morty Season 4 being in danger. Rick and Morty fans got some bad news this weekend, and surprisingly, it did not involve Szechuan sauce.
Where's my Szechuan sauce?
Now, the bad news came straight from executive producer and co-creator Dan Harmon himself via Twitter in response to a fan insisting he drop everything and focus on Season 4. I hear ya, tough spot. On one hand, it can be challenging, especially with crippling lazy alcoholism, to write a show that hasn't been ordered by a network. On the other hand, the thought that fans like you pay the price, I'm gonna go grab a drink. So is it true, Dan? Do we need to assemble at our nearest McDonald's to demand that Rick and Morty be picked up for a fourth season? Because that's how protests work, right? While it does seem we live in a universe where rabid fan base plus sky-high ratings does not seem to equal a pickup, it's hard to believe that Rick and Morty wasn't instantly picked up for a fourth season the second that Pickle Rick became a meme.
I'm Pickle Rick!
The show gets high praise from critics and fans, and that's despite how long Season 3 took to finish. And speaking of Season 3, we all remember how Harmon wanted to do 14 episodes, but due to a shortened order, was forced to leave fans hanging with only 10. This, of course, was combined with a finale that left so many loose ends, we're still searching for a satisfying ending. Now, any other show would be DOA for another season, but despite the disappointing and abrupt season ender, the Richturian Morty date, the fan support for the show has remained quite strong. While it does seem a bit dire that Adult Swim hasn't assured us that we'll definitely be getting Swifty for a fourth season, let's be real. With its internet-breaking moments like the Szechuan sauce fiasco, grabbing Terry Folds, and of course, Pickle Rick, there's no shortage of viral Rick and Morty memes, which means the show is not heading off into the sunset. We get it. We've done this before, worrying about the fate of a show we love when it's not absolutely sure that it's coming back. But Rick and Morty is still all over the place. Just this weekend, Adult Swim released a Rick and Morty animated music video for the Run the Jewels song Oh Mama. And before that, there was that Alien crossover from last year. Adult Swim knows better than to let their golden child die on the vine when excited fans are clamoring for more, and they're sure to keep pumping the internet full of memes, mashups, and teases to tide us over. So we may still be left waiting for the official word that Rick and Morty will be back, but don't be such a Jerry, internet.
What?
We'll be back to evil Morty conspiracy theories and speculating which Rick is Prime Rick, eventually. Maybe like 2019, if we're lucky. Probably 3 episodes, but whatevs. We'll just rock ourselves to sleep at night clutching the life-size Pickle Rick figure we made out of McDonald's Szechuan packets we bought on eBay, which means it's probably, worth thousands and thousands of dollars? Yeah. Sweet. But what do you think? Will we get a fourth season of Rick and Morty? Do you prefer getting Swifty or grabbing your Terry Folds? And what other Rick and Morty mashups would you like to see until then? Let's discuss. And thank you to Capital One for having me back for South by Southwest. I had a ton of fun hanging out at the Capital One house at Antone's the whole weekend, and I hope you had just as much fun following along on social media. If there is anything that you missed, you can take a trip down memory lane on my Facebook and Twitter at Jessica Chobot, or by searching for the hashtag Capital One House. There was a ton of awesome stuff to see. I tested out the soon-to-be-released AR feature in Capital One Tech's Auto Navigator, got a sweet hands-on demo of the new virtual numbers by Eno Technology, and even chatted it up with the adorable band Matt and Kim, so check it out.